The final trailer for The Walking Dead 11C just released, and it's a really good trailer. In this video, I'm going to break it all down, all the important stuff, and of course that big reveal at the end of it. Now, if you browse the internet as much as I do, it's really important that your internet is protected.
You either do it right or you don't do it.
But I want to do it.
You're done. You are done!
NordVPN allows you to explore the internet safely, but more importantly, freely. It's also really useful, and in fact, this is why I even got it in the first place. For when something isn't available from where you are, in your country, for example, those Walking Dead webisodes, if you want to watch that but you're not in the US, simply get NordVPN and switch your location to the US and you can watch it easy. Can you believe that every single episode of Better Call Saul is already out on Netflix in the UK? So simply switch your location and you can watch it too. And remember, NordVPN is more than just a VPN. It blocks all that dangerous stuff from the internet. It blocks malware, dangerous files and websites, malicious ads and trackers with just one click. NordVPN is available on all your devices, your PC, phone, your iPad. Click the link in the description or the pinned comment to get an exclusive deal for NordVPN. Be safe and protected online at all times. Firstly, we see Lance on his knees, tied up in a darkly lit room, and he's talking to someone, and he says,
"Thank you for coming. I hoped you would. I have a lot to say."
Now this just looks like he's talking to someone of authority. Equally, it could just be Yumiko. He spoke to Yumiko and said,
"A friend in high places. Someday I might need a favor, and you might be favorably inclined." So what do you say?
To get something back in return much later. It could likely be Carol too, because we literally see her with him in the trailer when he's got this exact clothing on. But if it's neither of them and this is someone of high authority, this would have to be the CRM, because they're the next big thing after the Commonwealth. We've seen things throughout season 11 that show Lance is connected to the CRM in some way. He's spoken about leaving supplies for some other thing.
I used some of them to send out a convoy full of supplies. For that other thing.
And there's an actual list of people that have gone missing because Pamela wanted to get rid of them. Lance has gotten rid of them, likely by trading to the CRM. Here we get a really good shot of the Commonwealth's actual size. In part 1 and 2, it didn't really do that justice, but now it does. It is a massive city of 50,000 people, and this is the herd that's going to it. This will be the final big herd that the main show will deal with, and we're going to talk about later why this herd in particular will be more dangerous. This season so far has felt really nonchalant about killing characters off. They've killed people, but not really the ones you'd care about. So it's felt really safe, let alone the characters we know survive in the spin-off shows. But as these are the final 8 episodes of the show, I think inevitably there's going to be bigger deaths. Interestingly, we're seeing a lot of characters that we wouldn't usually see as much from in this trailer. We're seeing a lot of Magna, there's a lot of Aaron and Jerry, a lot more Kelly and Ezekiel. Now I think, again, as this is the final season, these characters aren't exactly imperative for how things move forward in the universe that this show created. I think with how Magna's acted since she joined the show, she's going to have a sacrificial death, and maybe even Kelly. See, there's this scene right here with Ezekiel screaming "fall back," and you know what I'm like, I immediately thought, wow, fast walkers. But what this actually is, when the camera goes behind him, we see it's a truck or a big Commonwealth vehicle. Why would Kelly or Ezekiel not die from that? It's what the trailer's making us think, but just look at where all the important characters are. I think they're going to be entrapped, taken. At least one of these characters you see on your screen right now will be eaten, because we see that here with Daryl. He's holding Judith. This is the perfect time for Magna to have a sacrificial death. The shots of Rosita in this trailer are really worrying. I mean, I've said since season 10, 100% has to go. It's been foreshadowed, and even if Gabriel survives the main show, I think there's a big possibility he's got some stuff with Jade still to do in the CRM Rick related stuff in his show. This trailer does unfortunately give a lot of ground to those rumors that came out about Rosita. We see here she's surrounded by a herd, and I think she does make it out but reveals a bite later, so it would be an Andrea comic death type thing, with Gabriel being the Rick in that scenario. What's interesting about that is we see this scene here though, where he's holding his knife up with blood on it. I think if Rosita does reveal a bite, Gabriel might take her down easily. It's a wake up call for him. We've seen he's been so cold since season 10. It was paranoia, anger, then just this cold stillness. So if his partner gets bitten, then he knows he has to put her down. With him having such a black and white vision on killing now, where he kills if he thinks they have to die, he might just put down Rosita, and then he walks outside and thinks, maybe I should just be redeemed Gabriel now and not a sociopath. She is holding Coco like Laurie did in the comics with Judith, which isn't good at all, but I don't think they're going to give her that death at this point now. Now with this amazing reveal at the end of the trailer,
Heard stories Walkers that can climb walls and open doors. I was never sure if they were just stories.
They're literally canonizing the Frank Darabont walkers in season 1, which is really cool. I love how they're doing this as well. Like, they've already existed in the show. The people in this world thought it was a myth, but no, it does exist. Now, I think it will be tied in with the variant we saw at the end of World Beyond, but it's in no way showing that they're similar to that. This could just be the start of that particular virus, but it is a completely different thing. When that woman died in that scene, she immediately got up and started running. This is showing that just like in season 1, they can pick things up, they can open doors and climb things because they've got some kind of memory from before. And yeah, this confirms that the reason Carol was taking the face off of this walker was to check that it even was one, because that's what they do now. When there's a walker acting weird, you take the face off and you find out that it's a whisperer, but it looks like they find out it's not a whisperer. These are actual zombies acting weird. I think their reason behind there being zombies like this in the main show again is there's certain areas where the outbreaks happen where zombies start to act like this, but it's just a level. Once they start with this, they then get a bit cleverer, then they get faster, and before you know it, you've got the big French World Beyond virus. It's a stage. We have to assume the reason that this woman turned immediately and started running as a walker is because she's in France. Just like with Atlanta, it first started with walkers that were just a bit more capable, with Rick being taken to Philadelphia, but then likely if Dara's going to Europe, wherever he's gone will be a place where the walkers started off, doing what they're doing in the main show now. 2 really small details about this new walker is that 1, it's got a head wound of some kind, showing that maybe, just like what we saw at the end of World Beyond's end credit scene, this particular virus with this particular walker can't be taken down by just head damage. There has to be something more done. On a more realistic note, this walker's left wrist is damaged, meaning this could actually be one of the people that Lance captured and tried to trade off. At the end of the trailer, we see these scenes set at night where all the characters look really shocked, like they're defending something and reacting to something, and I think this is the big scene, the big reveal of the new walkers, and it looks really, really cool. But what do you think? Do you think these new walkers will be like the ones we saw in France? Who do you think will die? Let me know what you think down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.
And so, just to clarify, is this Scott Gimple in place of the movie that you had talked about before?
Yes.